The mother wound is an attachment trauma caused by a lack of consistent recognition, emotional support, and responsive care from your mother. Basically, the one person who was supposed to love you exactly as you are didn't. And of course, that leaves a nasty scar. Signs you have a mother wound. Number 1, you have an overly critical inner voice that tells you you're not enough because on some level you doubted the love of your mom. Deep down, you may feel unlovable because you were never properly mirrored by your mom. Behind the low self-worth is a deep shame. You blamed yourself for the lack of love from your mom and often felt there was something wrong with you. You weren't affirmed by your mom, so naturally you look for reassurance from romantic love interests or partners. It may feel like a bad habit, but it's actually a coping mechanism born to compensate for the maternal neglect or absence you went through. Number 2, you are overly competitive or envious within your female friendships. I mean, you might be able to have close female friends, but on some level, you feel envy or rivalry towards them. If you had a mother who wanted to use you as a mask or live vicariously through you, or she was your first bully and she has shown you a lot of resentment and maltreatment and disdain, the anger you feel towards her could be projected towards other women. This sometimes breeds the pick-me archetype because the feelings you had of being better than your mom could result in you always wanting to be better than other women, and not in a healthy way. Some women may reject, womanhood when they reach puberty or adulthood because they're scared of, growing up to be like their mom. And this whole scenario could literally keep them in a toxic loop of making bad decisions, like becoming a mean girl or like trying to befriend mean girls, get in their circle, gossiping, sleeping around, even trying to really compete with other women by getting into relationships with married men or men who are already in relationships. Number 3, feelings of anxiety and needing to control situations to feel safe. You have guilt and perfectionism to go along with low self-esteem. So only when everything is perfect do you give yourself the permission to relax and not feel terrible about yourself. You're often apologizing and feeling guilty if you do get what you want, and you always feel unworthy of even having it. Number 4, you have a very high tolerance for abuse or mistreatment from others. Enforcing boundaries brings up a lot of anxiety for you and you hate doing it. You feel like you don't have a choice but to please others first. Always taking care of others emotionally and putting their needs and feelings above yours as a way of securing their love. Now, I'm going to give you 5 ways in which you can heal from the mother wound. Number 1, communicate your emotional boundaries with your mom. You have to let her know the lines that you are not comfortable with her crossing. Number 2, let people be innocent until proven guilty. Having a mother wound makes you kind of sensitive. So give people room to show you who they truly are. It helps you to emotionally regulate yourself so you don't always feel on high alert every time you meet new people. Not everyone is out there to hurt you. Number 3, let yourself be in the moment with all your emotions. Don't stifle your emotions. If you feel like crying, cry. If you feel disrespected, communicate that. If you are angry, you are allowed to feel your anger. If you're afraid, acknowledge that you are scared right now. Number 4, instead of overly sharing or overly explaining yourself to justify your point, ask questions instead. You're safe. Remember this when you're having conversations with people. Number 5, communicate your discomfort. You don't have to lash out. If you don't like something, communicate. Some of you still can't tell the nail lady or the hairdresser that you don't like what they're doing. Start from there. Start from the little things. Tell people when you're uncomfortable with what they're saying or what they're doing.